Hey everyone, I'm Ben Contreras, and welcome back to Jasper Cat Productions. Now, I had a really good day yesterday, and I'm feeling in a pretty good mood. So, how about for today's video, we wrap up this little series that we did where I talked to you guys about the Attack on Titan franchise. And what better way to do that than to talk about their recent attempt at a video game tie-in, Attack on Titan 2, which was released March 15th, 2018 in Japan, and released a couple days later on the 20th everywhere else. Now, right off the bat, while this game is titled as if it was an actual sequel to the original Attack on Titan game, which came out only on the PlayStation systems around a few years back, it really shouldn't be considered that, as the game doesn't really continue the story that was established in the previous game, but rather retells it from the perspective of a brand new character. This character being your very own, as you're reminded on the back of the box here. You have the ability to create your very own character and to play through the story from their perspective. Now, this right here is going to split a lot of the fans of the Attack on Titan franchise who were planning to buy this game, as those who played the previous one might feel like the first half of the game is a bit of a slog to get to the new material. But as for me, I'm going into this game with a clear set of eyes. One who, while they haven't played the original game, they know what happens in it thanks to other forms of media and several Let's Plays I've seen of the game. But despite that, I still had a fun time going through both the first and second season of the story. And the addition of some brand new cutscenes added to the first half, and the ability to create this character that is pretty much the eyes and ears of the player in this world, I find that idea rather charming in a way. That's probably just because I'm the kind of person who really likes character creation in a game, regardless of what game it's really in. That's kind of why I made that video a while back when Sonic Forces was brand new and they talked about character creation there. So, in terms of the character creation itself, it was really well implemented. I'm actually rather impressed by the amount of variety you have in terms of creating your character. You have multiple different hairstyles to choose from. You're able to change your height, your body type for your character. Just about every single thing can be adjusted to an extent. And while I feel like a couple of the hairstyles are definitely reused for some of the major characters in the story, the fact that there's so much variety itself, it doesn't really anger me as much as it would in other games, where at that point it would feel like just a sort of mix and match of different body parts. Sort of how it's implemented in, say, the older Lego games. However, while there is a ton of variety in the character creation in this game, and I like that, there's something in me that feels like there's a little too much variety, and it sort of makes me sort of raise an eyebrow at some of the type of options that you have. For one, you're able to customize, as again you could see in the back of the box here. You were able to change the color of the military jacket from the traditional sort of light brown that it defaultly looks like. You're able to change that into like a multitude of different colors, and I don't really think that really doesn't just feel right, in my opinion. And some of the accessories that you can equip to your character also seem like they shouldn't be there at all. But aside from that, I really am impressed with the character creation, and I thought it was implemented really well. Now, for the gameplay, it's still the sort of hacking and slashing that we would expect from an Attack on Titan game, but there are some layers added to it to give every single mission that you go on to sort of its own kind of taste. Or feel, I guess is the better word I could say. There's the traditional way to killing the Titans. You're able to just slash at their necks as fast as possible and to kill as many as possible, which you're able to do just fine, but you're also able to do things like establish bases for certain conditions to happen, like gaining more items that you can use while in battle. You can also, my personal favorite, make these sort of cannons that you can either control and are extremely powerful, or you can have a different variety of cannons that automatically shoot for you. And if you're playing on the easier difficulties, the only type of base you're really gonna try and build are the automated cannon ones, as that can take care of Titans around you very easily. But while you're able to do that without much thinking, it is rather encouraged that you take your time with a few of these Titans, as some of their body parts can contain materials, which those materials can be used to unlock and buy new weapons for your character to use. And some of those type of weapons that you can equip are rather insane. For those of you who played the game, you know the kind of weapons I'm talking about. But if you don't want to be too flashy with the type of weapons you use and you want to go basic, you're allowed to do that just fine. Now, the biggest part of the gameplay that they added was not from killing Titans themselves, but after you're done with a mission, as the game establishes a sort of relationship kind of system like you'd see in something like Mass Effect or the Persona series, where you're able to interact and talk with several of your favorite characters from the first and second season, and the higher you get with their relationship, the more you're able to learn about who they are as a character, and some of them can offer side missions where you work alongside them to get certain objectives done, and you're also able to watch a few quote-unquote cutscenes establishing pretty much the same thing. Now, I feel like I'm gonna piss a lot of people off for saying this, especially like veteran fans of the Attack on Titan franchise, but the addition of this relationship kind of system and the fact that you're able to interact with so many different type of characters, I feel like it makes the side characters more interesting and fun to learn about than how it was implemented in the actual manga series, and to an extent the anime series. The fact that you're for a while the side character can be the main focus, and we're able to get more of a establishment onto the type of character that they are and their motivations for certain things. It not only to me makes the characters more interesting, but it also makes some of their eventual deaths all the more heartbreaking in my opinion. Now, as for some of the things that I would fix for the game, it's pretty much not really something that I felt was bad, but something that a bit of a missed opportunity. The game, for the most part, for about 60% of it, covers just the first season alone. So what if the game tapped into its inner Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, where there's a couple what the F kind of scenarios. If you, let's say, maxed out on a relationship with a certain character, or if you did a story mission in a certain way. Like, what if it was Mikasa that was able to turn into a Titan instead of Eren? Or what if John did end up joining the military police like he planned to, instead of the Survey Corps? Or what if there were like some missions that were related to some of the OVAs that came out for the anime series, or what if there was like a Easter egg or two that referenced the live action movie. I think little things like that would kind of give the game a lot more fresh air, considering the type of material that it's based on. It would allow it to sort of expand and give it, the game, a bit more of its own identity, especially for those who feel like the first half of the game goes by very slowly, considering that they feel like they've already played through this part. So I think implementing little scenarios like that would be very fun to go through. Now, in conclusion, Attack on Titan 2 is a very good action game, and I do recommend it for people who are fans of the Attack on Titan series. Now, for those of you who did play the first game and are wondering if they should get this one, I do think it's worth it just for the implementation of making your own character and seeing the story from their perspective. I feel like that alone would make it worth it to some people, but again, if you played the first game, you might want to wait for this to get a price drop, as something like $40 or $50 for a game where the first half of it you feel like you've already played through might not be worth that much. But I still had fun, and I can't wait to see what other type of ideas they have for the next game to come out. I can't wait to see what they implement there. So, I hope you all enjoyed this, me talking about the Attack on Titan game, and I really hope you enjoyed this little series I did where I talked about the Attack on Titan series in general. And this sort of series that I'm calling Ben Talks About, that's going to be the equivalent of reviews for my channel from now on, as I feel like I'm not exactly as informative as I think I am to really consider the stuff that I make reviews. I prefer it being something like where I just sit here and I talk about stuff that I enjoy. So, I really had fun making this series with you guys, and until next time, when you see me in the next video, where I sort of return to a little series that I did quite a while back that some of you might know the more mid-tier time of Jasper Gap Productions, if that's really the correct type of way to say it. Until you see me then, I gotta go see if there's a certain someone that I can save in this game before they become half of their former self. Until next time, I'm Ben Contreras, and bye.